Hi everyone, my name's Michelle and I'm Mama Loves You GB here on FlossTube, but also over on Instagram and Etsy as well. This is the Sunday morning briefing. Again, I haven't looked up to see what number this is, but this is the 22nd or 23rd of January, one of the two. I'm not entirely sure, I guess the 23rd. I'm a bit frazzled today. It's been a really long day. I will tell you all about that in just a minute. Hence why my notes are on the back of an envelope today. I'm in the Cotswolds. As I told you last week, my Uncle Malcolm passed away at the beginning of last week, I think it was. Not the week just gone, the week before, on his birthday. And so we came down this weekend, not for the funeral, that's for another week yet. Apparently the undertakers are quite busy at the moment. But we had to clear out his flat, so we did that this morning. So I went and had my hair cut and done this morning. So my hairdresser, I said to her, listen, don't worry, just cut it. You don't need to do anything fancy with it. And she did it all curly. So I've been slogging around, looking all dirty and dusty for most of the day with kind of curly hair. Now bearing in mind she did it at 8:30 this morning, it's not too bad, it hasn't held the curl too bad. So yeah, then we went to clear the flat. So I've got a few little things that I claimed from the flat. There was several members of the family there, all helping out, so they all claimed each a little bit as well, which was really nice. It was nice to see the things that he'd had and he'd loved going to the people that really wanted them. And actually there really wasn't that much overlap between the things that people wanted to remember him by, so no family arguments. It was lovely, it was lovely. I've got a little bit to do tomorrow still, things like the washing machine, and there was a big dinner service that had been his parents that had to that we've got to do something with. And the other thing I've got to do something with is 2 unexploded cannon rounds. Yeah, so he was in the Royal Artillery and went to Suez, and we got into his, well, it was my granddad's army box, and we took out the other things that were in there. I knew there was bits and bobs of army stuff in there. I knew there was a bayonet in there because last time we went to see him, he tried to give it to Ness. He thought she might like the bayonet. But yeah, there were these two shells in there, which were a good size long and a good size round. Not obviously blanks, not obviously spent shells. So tomorrow, I did ask a friend of mine who is got a military background, and he's pretty sure that they are blanks, although blanks will still obviously go a big bang. So tomorrow I shall be phoning the police and they will send the boys round to come and collect them. He's had them for 70 years, so I think I don't think there's any danger of them going pop overnight. So let me just show you while they're right in front of you a couple of the things that I claimed from his flat. One was this beautiful vase. I absolutely love it, and the funny thing is, it was in the back of a cupboard. I don't remember it from his house at all. And I just love the way that when you look through it, you can see all of the other bubbles. I just think it's absolutely glorious, and I have no idea where he got it from. I can only assume that it must have been my granny's, because I don't think he'd bought anything house-wise at all for himself, ever. I think it all came from my grandparents, who I don't remember. So there was that. And after he'd finished in the army, he did a little short spell at Doughty's, but then after that he went to work for an ironmonger in Stow-on-the-Wold, and he worked there for all of his career. And he has the keys, well, not the keys, but they had a collection of keys. The previous incarnation of the shop, I believe, had a collection of keys. So I now have the keys. And there are these amazing big keys. So I have seen some beautiful cross-stitch finishes which hang off of keys, and so I shall be doing some of those for myself. So I was very, very pleased to have those, and I should be very happy with those. Right, a couple of other things, a couple of other bits of admin. If you want to just fast forward this, you're more than welcome to. Just wait until I hold something up. I've even got my pen out, look, to tick stuff off. I've done that. Right. I am nearly at 9,800 subscribers, so not far from 10,000, which blows my mind, and I'm so excited about the thought of getting to 10,000. So if you're not a subscriber and you've liked what you've seen, please do hit the subscribe button, and then hopefully I can get there. It'll be amazing. And the other big thank you I've got is for all the people that bought me a coffee via the Buy Me a Coffee link, and I'll put that down below again. It's not compulsory, and I think probably a lot of people went for it because of the dyeing tutorial that I'd done, and they'd felt that they'd gained a bit of knowledge from that. So thank you so much for that. I had intended, when people started buying me a coffee, to thank everybody just by their first name on in the video, but there's so many. There's just under or just over 50 people. Some have bought me a coffee, some have bought me a few coffees, and so I can't thank everybody individually on here, but I have, or I will be sending everybody a thank you message on the Buy Me a Coffee app. I've just worked out how to do that, and I just need the time now to sit down and do it. But I'm so grateful for the support that people have shown me for my channel. It means the world to me. Take that off. Take that off. There we go. Right, let's have a look and see what I've got to show you. I've got some stitching, not a massive amount. It's been a quite busy week. But what I did was, when we were coming down from Wales, I just put in the car my big box of kitted projects. And what I thought I'd do is I would show you a few this week, and I'll show you a few next week, because I shall be back here next week. I'm coming down by myself next weekend to do the funeral on the Monday. So yeah, I'll be here again next weekend, so I'll show you some more kitted things. But let's have a look and see what I've been working on this week. I've got a couple of new starts and something that I've been working on. So the first thing I'm going to show you, I've been working on my temperature sal, which has got all my sulky colours in the box. If you want my conversion, you can find them on, there's a picture of them on my Instagram. And this is as far as I have got. And I've been keeping a note of the temperatures this week. So this one, this colour is for 8 degrees, between 8 and 10 degrees. And actually this week is just going to be pretty much all of that colour. It really has been very stable maximum temperatures this week. So that's going to be an easy one to fill in. And I've started to do that on a Sunday morning while I'm sort of not uploading, but listening back through my video to make sure I can do my notes accurately. So I found that's a good one to do for that. So there was that. I had a new start, which is in my gorgeous bag that Wendy made me at Atlanta Stitcher. And I'm sure you will know what this one is. It's All Creatures Great and Small by Barbara Anna, that I am doing on some of the fabric that I dyed from last week. So this is where I've got to. I'm sorry, nothing is going to be ironed this week. So this is where I've got to. Now that red is showing as very dark, but it's not actually so dark as that. So that's where I am. And I've done a sulky conversion with it. So what I did was I looked at the DMC. I found my big book of DMC swatches out, and I just then literally picked the sulky that was close to it, because there wasn't always an exact match. So here they all are. I just ordered myself one of these little lipstick stands from Amazon, pretty inexpensive, just so that I can put this on the arm of the chair and they're not always rolling about. The number of these I've lost down the side of the chair and then had to re-find again. So it's got some really lovely colours there. The colours that I found hardest to match were the browns. Sulky browns, there's not the widest choice of browns, but I think I've got some good options. And I do want to change some of the browns anyway, because I want to change some of the animals. So for example, I've just started on one of the little pigs. One of the little pigs is pink, the next one up is grey with pink spots. I'm going to do them all pink with black spots or dark grey spots, because that would make them Gloucester Old spots. And there's a cow underneath, which is like a very pale brown. So I'm going to turn that into a sort of a real kind of oxblood brown and turn him into a Gloucester cow. So because this is to be a family sampler, I want to put as many of our local rare breeds in as I can. So that's where I am, 36 count, and this is one of the fabrics that I dyed myself and I showed you last week and how to do it in the tutorial. So there's that. And then the other thing that came is the swan. And obviously, I didn't bother finishing the fox first before I started on the swan. Fox has only got a little bit left to go, to be fair. But there's the swan next to the fox. So with the fox, I've only got to put in a couple of trees down there. So I will get that done. But there's the swan. Absolutely gorgeous. I have now, or I did it when I saw it, closed the competition that I set a couple of weeks ago, where you could guess, oh God, the needle's still stuck in that, to guess the remaining 10 months, because this week, one of the days this week, I saw the March release, which is going to be a jackrabbit. So because that one's out, I've finished the competition. So those are the colours so far, plus a Grecian gold as well, which is actually on the side in the living room. So the DMCs this month are similar, but they're not quite the same oranges as they were last month. So coordinating, but not the same. So that was all I stitched on, apart from I started another little Mill Hill kit at school. And I have got it with me, but not to hand. So we'll see that next week. Now the other thing that I've got sitting here is this little bag, because when I was showing my fabrics, I showed this one, Spring Moon by Plum Street Samplers. Now this was an exclusive for a Fox and Rabbit retreat, which you can now buy. You can now buy this. It was kind of a short exclusive. And I'd said, I picked out a sort of paler fabric, and I said that I wondered whether it would go on this darker fabric, and I was going to have a look and check out the greens. Well, Karen from Fox and Rabbit left a comment to say that she thinks it would look great on the darker fabric. So considering it was her stitch along, or her retreat, I think I might have to go with what Karen thinks. So these are the threads. Whoops. Let's catch them all. These are the threads. And then these are the DMCs. So let's just have a little look, shall we? And see what we think. So bearing in mind the house is a nice big white chunk. And those ones there. I think that could work. So, a future plan at some point in time. Now, talking of future plans, I had a message from a lady called Julia Sinclair, and she said, was I thinking about doing anything special for St David's Day, which is coming up on the 1st of March? And she suggested that we start a Welsh sampler SAL, a Welsh sampler stitch along, where you just pick a Welsh sampler, either that you are already stitching on maybe and you want to put a bit of time into, or a brand new one to you, and come up with a hashtag St David's Day Welsh Sampler Sal. I'll put that along the bottom. So on the 1st of March, if you want to join us and start stitching a Welsh sampler, or stitch on a Welsh sampler that you've already got, then that'd be fab. I think I'm going to start Mary Morgan's. So yeah, I think I'm going to start Mary Morgan's on St David's Day. What a better day to start Mary Morgan's. So hopefully between now and then, what I might do is try and grab out all the Welsh samplers that I can find. I've got quite a few quite a few charts, and then I'll put in some pictures of some other ones I know are Welsh samplers, and you can have a look and see what a breadth of Welsh samplers there are. If you don't already follow, you need to follow on Instagram Mary Griffiths, which is at Welsh_samplers, and all she posts is pictures of Welsh samplers. Some of them you will recognise because they've been charted. Mary Morgan's original is on there, as is the very beautiful one by Hands Across the Sea with the big flower in the middle, whose name is escaping me totally at the moment. I'll put it up on the bottom. So you can see the originals of all of those. The Anglesey sampler that I showed you that I'd bought a couple of weeks ago, that was on there as well. There's loads and loads. Right, just because it's sitting there in front of me, I'm just going to show you, I've got a very little bit of haul today. The thing that I have got most of is threads, because if you are stitching the Year in the Woods Sal, the last 2 months, the overdyed flosses, so every month seems to be a couple of overdyed flosses plus DMCs. The last couple of months, the overdyed flosses, because it's been so popular, seem to have just been so hard to find. And if you go on their website, they've actually got the thread lists for the next 5 or 6 months, I think. So what I did sneakily, hopefully before other people noticed, was I went and I ordered all the overdyes for the next few months. And because I'm stitching mine over 2 over 2 on 36 count, I've bought 2 of each, because they come with a little asterisk that says you might need 2 skeins. So I've just bought 2 of each of all the overdyes. And then because I had to get one of the overdyes from Patchwork Rabbit, I wanted to just make sure that it wasn't on its own. And so I did order this. Now, technically this is not a new chart to me, sort of, in the fact that I showed you the Bristol Berries 1 before, and I said I was about to buy the Bristol Berries 2, and this was several weeks ago now, last year, and you all went and bought them. They ran out because you all went and bought them. So I didn't manage to get one when I said I was going to buy it. So I thought, well, and Carla had got them in because I'd asked her if she got them, like way back when. Then I mentioned them to you guys. You guys bought them all, and then so I had to go and get one. So I'm counting this as technically a chart from last year because I intended to buy it last year, but you bought them all. And the other thing that I've got, I'm not going to show you because not everybody has got theirs, and I don't want to spoil it. But I know everybody's getting theirs very soon. Very soon. Let me just make sure. What do we think this might be? So, yes, if you are in the Fox and Rabbit Fabric Club, they are in the UK. So, I'm sure yours will be hitting your doormats very soon. So I'm not going to show you until next week what the fabric is, because I want everyone to have a surprise. And they sent this lovely card, which Ness was very taken with. She likes the fox and the rabbit. She's very taken with that. So yeah, I'm not showing you the fabric. All you need to, I get the neutral one. All you need to know is that I've already earmarked it for something. Right, what's next? I've got these, which were the giveaway charts from last week. Now I forgot to bring anything to give away this week, so I'm just going to catch up on my postage. I've still got last week's charts to post out, so I'm sorry to those people who won last week. I haven't managed to get near the post office with these in my hand, or with them in my hand. So next week, that is my goal. So the winners then, this one, the ships chart, which if you remember was donated by the lovely Alice, was Claire Cowsell. Sorry, I've just scribbled it right down and my handwriting leaves a lot to be desired. So I think it's Cowsell, but I'll put the screen grab of the comment picker up. And I'll comment on your comment. If you can send me your post address, I will get this out to you. And I haven't got any problem with reading who won this one. This one was won by the lovely Hazel Anderson. Well done, Hazel. So I'll put her comment up there. Yes, on that comment she did just put sparrow, but she had put another comment as well. Not that it makes a jot of difference, but she had left another comment. And that was one thing actually I meant to mention. So many people last week left me really, really lovely comments, and I would really dearly love to reply in full to everybody, and I'm going to start trying to work my way back through. I've acknowledged them all with a heart, or I'm still acknowledging them all as they come through, but so many people told me their stories of relatives with dementia, and I think everybody is of the same feeling as I was last week. So everybody knows what it's like, everybody knows it's crap. So my thoughts are with everybody who is currently dealing with a family member who has got dementia. It is cruel. Cruel, cruel. Right, back to ticking my list. The other thing I wanted to show you, Carol X Stitch, who is Samplers and Stitches on Etsy, has released her latest season. So if you've been collecting the little seasons charts, they are, or she's got the newest one on offer on her Etsy at the moment. So if you've been collecting them, then make sure you get it, and then you can get it while it's on offer. Right, as I said, I just grabbed a little stack of things that I've got kitted. They're all in their project bags or plastic, you know, cheapo Amazon bags, but I'm just going to show you what I've got. So there's a couple of things in here. So this is a piece of fabric, blue, like a pale blue. Looks like it could be a 32 count. I'd have to measure it. And so what I was going to put on that was these ones, which is the Frosty Forest collection. Now I actually won these from Creatively Yours, probably at least 12 months ago now. So the full set of the Frosty Forest, and I think it's a 9. Yeah, it's a 9, and I think that's the one that goes in the middle. Has that got a button on it? Yes, it does have a button on it. Have they all got a button on it? No, just the middle one. Oh no, that's got a button on it. That's got a button on it. Oh, it looks like they all have. So, Create Nostalgia, I think I might be hitting you up for some buttons. Yeah, it looks like they've all got a button on them. Where's on that one? Oh, it's a blue bird on the top. Oh, look at the owl on that one. On top of the tree. Amazing. So yeah, Create Nostalgia, I think I might have to send you a little order for those. And then the other thing that I've got on here, which I thought might be quite nice on that, is the Lucy Beam I Will Cut You. So that's one little kitted pouch for sometime soon when I get to it. Now this is my freebie actually for today, and it's probably more of a reminder than anything. Oh no, it's not. Freebie's next, sorry. I'll do that in a minute. So this was from Market last year, or Expo, one of the two, whatever they called it this time. Lucy Beam, another Lucy Beam actually. Call for the doctor. It says call for the doctor, call for the nurse, call for the lady with the alligator purse. And I have put some Picture This Plus Relic in for that. And I got that when Patchwork Rabbit were doing their monthly club. So I think that'll look nice on there. I was going to say something then. Don't know. We'll never know. I can't remember. Oh well. Right. This is the freebie. But it's probably just a reminder rather than any great revelation. Barbara Anna, as we know, does a lot of beautiful freebie charts, and there are two here. This one is called The Light, or The Light, with the fox, and this one is called The Key. So I put those two together in a project bag, or a bag, with some other bits of Picture This Plus that I had from their club. I started off on 40 count Picture This Plus and then moved to 36 count. So I have a 40 count piece of Dwarf, which I was going to do the key on, and then a 40 count piece of Fawn, which I was going to do light on. Excuse me making funny noises, then I just had a hiccup. I'm just trying to squash it. Right. Now this one, this is totally random, this whole selection. Now this one is called, well, it's called Halloween Meow, but it's something about a black, her white cat's gone black or her black cat's gone white. I can't remember what the actual translation, or Get Me a Black Cat or something it is. One of Ness's favourite books is Mrs. Black Cat, and it's all about the fact that Mrs. Black Cat has, she wants her cat to be black, everything black, everything black, everything black, and then she buys all these spells, and then eventually her cat turns into a tiger, because nothing is black at the end of it. So I wanted to change that into an orange and black stripy cat, and then it would be Mrs. Black Cat, which is one of her favourite books. And then I have this piece of fabric to do it on. Now this is a silk weaver. No idea what it's called. I just got it in a stash and load and really liked the colour. So I think that will look quite nice on there. It's not quite as dark as it's showing up there. Right. Next one is, I've got a packet of 28 count, and I have got the Summer Schoolhouse series. So yeah, I'm sure you've all seen them. That one first, and those two, then that one, and then that one. And I've got the series kitted, so most of the colours are in those first two packets, and then obviously they just carry on onto the third two. Now I know there was a fifth chart, but I only got the first four, although I might have to find the fifth one because it's got the strawberries and the little horn book on it, I believe. So that's also kitted and ready to go. As I said, I can't die. I can never die. And it was quite interesting today. My uncle's always lived on his own. He's always had a very small place. And it took 7 of us, probably the majority of the day, to clear his flat. And it didn't look like there was much in there. So God knows how long it's going to take my family to take all my cross-stitchy stuff to the charity shop. No, I'm sure they'd be more gracious than that, but it really made me realise how much stuff I've got. If I was to shuffle off tomorrow, that'd be a mess to sort out. Aside from the emotional aspect, of course, just a mess. Now, I've got this one, Quaker Dwelling, which is by Kathy Barrick, which was released again last year sometime, I think, 2021. Now the colours are completely different to what you might think. It calls for sea green, yellow ochre, mint green, palomino gold, cinnamon, pale peach and doeskin brown. it looks black, but it's not, it's a dark green. But I think I would probably change the colours anyway. And talking of Hazel Anderson, as we were, I have a piece in here of her beautiful 40 count aged paper to do that chart on, because it's quite big, 232 by 239. So that's where I am. So when I'm saying I'm showing you my kitted box, for me, kitted counts as the pattern and the fabric, or the pattern and the threads, or all three. As long as I've got 2 out of the 3, to coin our favourite Meatloaf who passed this week, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. So as long as I've got 2 out of the 3, although I have got a couple of things in here where I've just literally got the fabric because I know what I'm going to do with it. A little kit here. This is by Boffy Threads, ho ho ho, and I shall be changing that fabric. I've got a really nice purple linen that I would want to do that one on, so I quite fancy it on purple linen. This is Kringle and Woolard by Plum Street Samplers. I've just chucked in the last bit of timber that I managed to get, browns and greens, and that's what he looks like there. So that's another Christmassy one that I would like to do. Got a springy one here, and again I wanted to try and do some more Brenda Gervais this year. I love her designs. I've got very little. Is this one, Welcome Spring, and this one's just got a few threads in the side. I think that would look nice on a blue or a green. I've got that one to do. This is a Twin Peak Primitives one, which I bought from a Stash and Load, which has just got some little bits of DMC in enough just to do that, which I really like. Now, this one is a Halloween one. Now I've done the partner one to this. There's Boys Night Out, oh sorry, Boys Are Back in Town and Girls Night Out. And I've done Girls Night Out, it's the witches on the motorbikes. So this is the one that goes sort of with it. So it's all the boys this time, and their faces are made up of buttons. So basically you're buying the buttons and then you get the chart for free. And I've just got a little bit of black linen in there. I think it's probably charcoal. I think it's probably Zweigart charcoal or chalkboard, something like that, to do that on. Honestly, I've got an 80-litre box and this is the tip of the iceberg. Right, this one is Grace Caitlin's sampler of 1719 by The Scarlet Letter. And I purchased this one from eBay. This is, let me just make sure I'm talking correctly. Yeah, this is one of the older style Scarlet Letters, which is hand drawn. It may well have been reproduced now by digitally, but this one's the one I've got is hand drawn, and it came with some DMC. Now you can tell by the labels how old the DMC is, so when I actually get around stitching it I might buy new DMC just in case I run out. So this is a piece, this is a bit of a sad one actually. I was going to do the Witchy Stitcher Universal Monsters Sal. So this is another Witchy Stitcher stitch along that I'm currently failing at. And I dyed my own piece of fabric for it. Or did I? Actually, I didn't dye the fabric, I just altered the fabric. So that was the fabric that I was going to do my Witchy Stitcher Universal Monsters on, which I still love. I still think it's a great bit of fabric. So I just added the red, the blood splatter, But what I might do is pick another one of hers to do. I'd still love to do the Universal Monsters one day, but I don't think I want to get into it until I've done the cryptids. So I'll either use that bit of fabric or I'll save it for something else. What's in here? What's in here? Oh, this little one. This is Little Robin Designs, Clarissa Beaumont. And the thing that I've got in here is the fabric. And this is the fabric. And this is the fabric that I dyed using onion skins, which I think is the perfect colour for it. So as far as I'm concerned, that's kitted. So yeah, onion skin dyeing, what a beautiful colour. I dyed that while I was making loads and loads of pickled onions in the summer. So I took all the brown skins off, so brown onions, just boiled them up, made a nice thick or a nice dense dye and stuck my fabric in. It was easy. Heartstring Samplery, Baby It's Cold Outside. And this one I have got the threads for it. That's what's kitted about that one. Okay, in this bag, Jenny Bean sampler. Now, a lovely viewer sent me a lot of, she write her name on them? A lot of scarlet letter charts, and this one was in it, and I love it. So there is some of the DMC. I think there's some more in here. Yeah, I've started putting some of them on thread drops, and I have some 32 count black linen to do it on, so I got linen, and as you can see, Mummy's already had a go at that one, and so it is nicely serged. And I have bought the linens that I dyed last week along with me today, so that they can be done as well. Another Brenda Gervais that I found that I wanted to start, or is kitted ready to start, is the Saltbox Quilt Sampler. And this is lovely, really, really lovely. Now I may have just inherited a box that might fit this. Perhaps I'll have to measure it. I've become sort of the keeper of the photographs for our family. My uncle had a lot of photographs. My other uncle, Colwell, he was a great photographer, so he had a lot of photographs, and then he died before Malcolm, lots of years before, so Malcolm had a lot of his photographs as well. So what I've said is I will go through and I will take pictures of everything and then put them all on a drive so that all the family can share them and have copies of them. And then in the summer we'll have a get together and I'll bring all the originals, and then family members can just take ones that they want the originals of. But then at least we've all each got a copy of all the photographs. This one, Henry VIII. And I know I'm going to do this on a piece of Picture This Plus Ale. I want it on a much darker fabric, or similar to ale, something along those lines. So there's that. I've got three more things just to show you some of my kitted things, and we'll do some more next week. So I have got Peppermint Pals, again by Brenda Gervais, and I've got a piece of fabric this colour, which I dyed, and is potentially a 36 count, I think. Could be a 38 count. I don't think it's a 40. No, I don't think it's a 40. It's either 36 or 38. Because if I was sensible, I'd leave myself a little note. And then this one is Merry Old Soul, and this is the fabric I dyed for that one, which is a really nice colour. Why didn't I dye a bigger piece? Looks like greys and greens. Sorry, I've got hiccups again. So he's going to go on that one. Now, my second of only 2 Mirabilias that I own. The first one I own is Snow Queen, and it's not started. This one is the Santa Claus one, which, let me just take this. This one here. What's it actually called? Santa. It's called Santa. There we go. Yeah, Santa. So that one. And then I've got the embellishment pack there as well, which you can see I got from Arts and Designs in Scotland. And then my very last envelope that's here, I have got, and it doesn't want to come out. It really doesn't want to come out. What's it stuck on? This one. Now these are the threads for it. How lovely are they? And it's called Summertime. Don't know what that is. By, and I believe you pronounce it Merejka. I heard Mama Bear Stitchery mention it once, and I'm sure she said Merejka, because that's not how I would have said it. And I know she's more likely to be right than me. I would have said Merejka, but it definitely isn't that. I think it's Merejka. It's called Summertime. And I would stitch it, but I wouldn't put the Summertime at the top. Now, the fabric it comes with is this 16 count Ada, which I wouldn't use. I've got another fabric. I'd probably just swap it for a linen, a 32 count linen. But those colours, be along the same lines as that colour, but just look at those colours on that sort of darker linen. How fabulous is that? Look at that sticky bag. Don't want that. And that is going to be it from me. So I will see you back here next week. I'm going home in the meantime. Week's worth of teaching, all that normal good stuff, and then back here next weekend. And I'll show you some more from my kitted box. Just another random selection. I will see you soon. Stay classy, Stitchers.